By the 80s, there's 4 million undocumented people living here. Many of them are filling the demand for jobs that brought them here in the first place. A very real demand on farms, in construction, in restaurants. 4 million undocumented people living in the United States. Congress sees this as a growing problem, so they decide to get tough on immigration. Congress wants to enforce immigration limits in a firm, unambiguous manner. They pass laws in the 80s and 90s to physically fortify this long, porous border. Physical barriers, more guards, incentives to leave, disincentives to enter. Okay, so this first test that they ran back in the 60s didn't work. Will this work? And the answer is no.
People say, this might be my last chance to cross. I better cross, and I better, as soon as I can, I better bring my family with me.
In fact, more people come because, again, there's jobs here. There's jobs to be filled. There are corporations who have become totally reliant on these workers. So soon, some of these migrant workers are now not so migrant. They're having families here. They're living lives. They're paying taxes. They're integrating into communities. They're American. By the end of the 2000s, there's 10 million. But they don't have legal status. They're not technically authorized. And in fact, no matter how important they are to certain industries, there's no path for them to gain legal status. They're in this limbo. Look at this chart. These are farm workers in the United States. These two lines are for people who are either born in the United States or legally here. And this line are unauthorized immigrants, the people we've been talking about this whole time. Now watch what happens. The undocumented population is around 3 to 4% of the entire American population. But look at how fundamental they are to just the crop farm work industry. This is the food we eat being processed by people who are not authorized to be in the country. Oh, and by the way, it's not just agriculture. Landscaping, household workers, laundry services. Again, 3 to 4% of the population, but a quarter of this workforce.
This is an example of the gap between what the legal system provides and what seems to be what the economy needs to function at a high level.
I once worked at a restaurant as a line cook here in DC. It was my first job when I got out of college, actually. And every single person in that kitchen was an unauthorized immigrant who worked usually 2 jobs cooking food for restaurants.